So the Academy Awards were Sunday night. Woo! Let's talk about it.
What I watched this week.
Hey, and welcome to What I Watched This Week. Today I'm joined by Charles Breiner in Los Angeles, California, who's going to talk about the Academy Awards, which are on Sunday night. Chuck, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me, Mike.
Live from the Kodak Theater at Hollywood and Highland, it's the 83rd Annual Academy Awards.
So the 83rd Annual Academy Awards, what'd you think?
I thought it was a pretty good show on the whole. I thought there were some ups, some downs, and I thought that's pretty much what you want from an Academy Awards.
And we are going to talk all about it. Let's get to it. I thought the stage was one of the better ones in recent times. I thought the screens and how they used them was really creative.
I couldn't agree with you more on the concept for it. I thought that the screens were fantastic. I thought there were some really cool things going on. You know, the Gone with the Wind thing was pretty cool, and I would have actually preferred that they stick to kind of those older movies and maybe tied it into the awards a little bit more.
The first time they used it, you mentioned Gone with the Wind, it was cool because then they segued into Titanic. They were talking about movies that were awarded these specific first two awards.
Cinematography and art direction.
And then they never really did that. I mean, they did it a little bit with the costumes and makeup, but it was only one movie. They mentioned Lord of the Rings. I liked how they used two examples to kind of show these awards are important.
Legend, Mr. Kirk Douglas.
So the first major award of the night was Best Supporting Actress, and Kirk Douglas strolled out to present it. What do you think about him?
Well, Kirk Douglas, frankly, I forgot that he was still alive. And, you know, he looked okay. He was pretty funny. You know, it got old to me really fast, and it was like, come on, move this thing along.
Yeah, but you know he just wanted to make those actresses squirm in their seats. I thought it was really funny. I was laughing.
You know,
when I watched Kate 2 years ago, it looked so
So Melissa Leo had a very interesting acceptance speech. I'm curious who your favorite was.
The best in my mind was Christian Bale. He's kind of in the Hollywood community and just at large has had some problems over the years, and I think he really redeemed himself a lot last night.
And of course, mostly my wonderful wife.
Maybe forgot his wife's name, but at the same time, you know, I thought he gave a great speech.
Melissa, I'm not going to drop the F-bomb like she did. I've done that plenty before.
Yeah, my favorite was definitely, his name's Luke Matheny, who won for the short film God of Love.
Oh, I should have gotten a haircut. Hey, everybody.
So I'd say the biggest surprise of the night was probably in the director category with
David Fincher,
not winning for Social Network and
Tom Hooper
winning for King's Speech. What do you think of that?
It was a big surprise. With The Social Network, I think that Fincher brings so much to that film. And I don't know that another director couldn't have directed King's Speech as well. I had more of a problem with the nominations than who won, though.
Right, and with what you said, I think if Christopher Nolan had been nominated, he probably would have won.
Listen to your mother.
All right, let's move on to the lighter side of the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, Academy Award winner.
I'd say the funniest moment of the night was definitely the auto-tune segment.
Through every yard sale, we're still here. Through every spring cleaning, we're all still here. No one's getting thrown out, and he held on to us.
The banter between Robert Downey Jr. and Jude Law was just fantastic, and I love the self-deprecating stuff because we didn't get a whole lot of Hollywood making fun of Hollywood last night, so to see Robert Downey Jr. accept that I thought was great.
I'm not here to be a part of your game, so you get, you know, people coming up to the after party and saying how witty you are and how charming you are.
Or both.
Shut up.
All right, let's move on to who you think the best presenter of the night was.
My favorite presenter of the night was Sandra Bullock. I was not a fan of her winning the award last year, but I was a big fan of her presenting last night. I thought she was funny, I thought she was concise, and I thought that she gave the proper respect to all of those nominees.
Javier. Hola.
I think you get her and Robert Downey Jr. to host next year, and you've got a show.
Heck, based on last night, I think that you get Bob Hope and use old archive clips of him, and I think that works. People were kind of complaining or kind of thought, you know, James Franco, was he high? Was he, you know, out of it? Was he disinterested? Did he not want to be there?
And so, The King's Speech has just become part of Oscar history.
And I think that's just like, if you've seen any interview with him in the last 5 years, that's just kind of the guy he is. You know, and Anne Hathaway was her perky, bubbly, you know, self.
Oh, yeah, and I tell you what, if they're going for the younger audience, get Justin Timberlake up there. He hosted the ESPYs a few years ago. I don't know if you've seen the big number he did, the I Love Sports.
The I Love Sports number is fantastic.
It's one of the greatest award show things ever.
I felt so bad when Sandra Bullock was talking about Jesse Eisenberg, because they had that great shot with Jesse Eisenberg, and over his shoulder was Justin Timberlake, but the focus of the camera was on Justin Timberlake. I couldn't believe it.
I was there going, focus the camera. How are you the only one not seeing this?
It was just, I felt terrible for
Though,
him.
I tell you what, I doubt Eisenberg cares at all.
And the Oscar goes to Colin Firth, The King's Speech.
Natalie Portman, The King's Speech.
And sorry, Chuck, that is all the time I have on the show today. Thanks so much for joining me.
Hey, no problem. Anytime.
And remember, you can check out this show on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, and at whatiwatchthisweek.com. I'll see you next time. That was What I Watched This Week.